Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hello, my lights are, it looks like heaven above. Look at those lights just illuminating up there. Let me fix my laptop. All right. Good morning. How are you guys? I hope that you are ready for something amazing today. We are excited that you're here and that you chose to hang out with us. Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Central. This is where you can find us. Today, we're going to be talking about creating evergreen content that drives traffic year round. And we're going to talk about lots of things regarding Evergreen. This training is going to focus on exciting intersections of content strategy and how seasonal topics can evolve over time into evergreen powerhouses, and how seemingly evergreen content might actually show you some surprising trends that you didn't know were there. And trends typically lead to a seasonal thing. Okay. I know that was a lot. We're going to unpack it for you. Okay.
I just had an evergreen piece of content go viral, and I'm like, on search, I'm like, what happened here? Why is this? And it just went up and it went down because it was seasonal evergreen content. What?
Right.
So we're going to talk about it. We're going to dig into that, and that is what's caused this training. So by understanding these dynamics, you'll gain insight into how to maximize traffic, not just year round, but at the right moments, year after year. So what you're going to learn by the end of this training, you're going to know how to identify evergreen topics that stay relevant no matter the time of the year. You're going to know how to craft timeless, valuable content that consistently attracts traffic for the long haul. And you're going to learn how to optimize and update your content to keep it useful, engaging, and relevant for years and years and years.
Siri, here's exactly what you're going to walk away with today, okay? A step-by-step process of expanding seasonal posts into evergreen opportunities. They are there. We're going to show you how to find them, because what Kelly, the jackpot that Kelly has walked into and been rewarded with, is something that you can have as well. Practical tools and strategies to optimize your blog's performance and make your content stand out. And number 3, fresh inspiration to fuel your blog's steady long-term growth through intentional planning and strategic updates. Remember, we don't do anything willy-nilly. We don't throw spaghetti on the wall. We are strategic in the things we do and deliberate and intentional. All right, tell them about their light bulb moment.
Light bulb, right? This training is for you if you've noticed any of these pain points in your blogging efforts. A post performs well for a while, but traffic drops off after its initial success. You struggle to keep readers engaged past specific timeframes or holidays, or you're wondering how to attract consistent visitors in an unpredictable digital landscape. So stick with us, guys, and we're going to unlock how to transform your content into timeless pieces that grow with your blog and amplify your authority while staying relevant during those seasonal peaks. So how do we have evergreen content that's evergreen, that gets traffic all year, but can give those viral peaks or viral whatevers during seasonal things? Okay, so if you want to grab your free worksheet, you can. I'll let Crystal tell us what we're going to do.
Yeah, just text the word evergreen to 251-644-6701, and the system will send it to you, as long as you have not D&D'd us. If you did D&D us, that's really sad and it breaks my heart. But but here's how you can undo it. It's fixable. Text the word start, and only the word start. Then you can text the word evergreen. And when you text the word evergreen, you're only texting the word evergreen. You don't say, please send me the evergreen printable. You don't say, please start me over. Start evergreen. 2 different texts, or just the word evergreen. Okay. All right. So why does learning all of this matter? Some topics are built for consistent, steady traffic over time. You guys know that if you've been blogging for any period of time, that's nothing new. Or maybe you forgot it. And if you did, bring that back to the forefront of your mind. Others might be triggered by seasonal interest, but still offer opportunities to establish year-long relevance, like Kelly was talking about. And she wouldn't have found that most likely if she wasn't looking at her data or looking at her stats, okay? When you know how to adapt content for both of these things, you can meet audience needs right where they're at, right while you should, while also building a robust library that grows alongside your audience. Now, we're going to walk you through how to do this, okay? Are you ready?
Number 1. When seasonal meets evergreen, not all seasonal content needs to stay seasonal. With the right approach, you can expand on time-sensitive topics and turn them into posts that are helpful no matter the time of year. So here's an example. Your original post maybe was 10 tips for planning a summer road trip, right? It's all about summer. and why it's summer. Like it's probably beaches and shady spots and cooler areas. Like why are we going to this place in the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're in the north, it's warmer areas and sunnier spots. Down here, we go into the cooler area. But you can expand that. So an evergreen expansion might be broadening out that to the ultimate road trip planning guide. We're not going for a summer road trip. We're going just for a general road trip. And then inside of it, you can have sections tailored for spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? Additional updates could include tips for specific weather considerations. Like if you're going to this place, you need to be aware it's the rainy season, right? Or you might have what I don't know, rocks fallen or whatever, wherever you're going, whatever the situation is. And then even some must have travel gear or whatever, making it relevant to readers all year long. And those are going to be just tiny little sections in there that have links to expand to your planning a summer road trip, right?
Right. All right. So here are some questions that we want you to ask yourself. Okay. Number one, what core advice from the seasonal post has universal value? So Kelly was just giving you some examples of that. Okay. Number two, can you add new sections to address other times of the year? So that's how you're going to expand, right? Number three, does this topic speak to needs that span beyond its immediate context? So not just weather in March, but actually these are things that they need to know all the time about the weather at this place, for example. Okay.
Right. And then here's a pro tip. Now we have this new big guide that goes all year long, for example, and we can share that at certain times of the year. So now we're going to lean into the seasonality of this post by emphasizing certain sections of that blog post. For example, promoting winter road trip tips from this guide during the colder months. So not only promoting our winter road trip guide itself or winter road trip whatever, but the tips inside of this guide. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It does. All right. So let's talk about uncovering seasonal peaks and evergreen content. If you want to talk about that, Kelly, you can.
Yeah, evergreen content sometimes experiences these predictable traffic surges during specific seasons or events. And recognizing these patterns presents opportunities to create complementary content, expanding your reach and reinforcing topic authority. So my evergreen content was a Velveeta thing, a Velveeta appetizer. Went crazy. And it never has gone crazy before. I've had it for years. It's always just been a nice little steady piece of traffic content for me, right? Or a piece of whatever. Usually, and so, okay, so I'm looking at my search console. I'm like, wow, that's nice. What happened there? Why did traffic like quadruple that day? Oh, and then I went, oh, that's right. It was early February. It was my buffalo dip. And I clicked, and it was not my buffalo dip. Buffalo dip did well, but that's not what caused everything. It was that Velveeta appetizer.
Wow.
Which makes sense, right? Super Bowl, right? Think about it. So, evergreen topic, XYZ dip, pattern observed, it spikes during Super Bowl, March Madness, Halloween. What other kind of dip, right? So, how do we leverage that, Crystal? Now that we know that is causing spikes in certain times, what do we do with it?
So once you know this, here's how you're going to take it. And we talk about do more of what's working. Here's how you're going to do that. Okay. So create themed variations, develop new posts tailored to specific events, such as spooky Halloween dips in 15 minutes, or game day dips to wow the crowd, or 4th of July dips, or dips that are perfect for warm weather, or like on and on and on and on. I have a bunch of appetizers, and I have it started as a bunch of roundups. And so we have appetizers that can be served cold, appetizers for cold weather, appetizer meats on a stick. Like it just goes on and on and on, right? So expand the ecosystem. How often are you really thinking about how you are creating this ecosystem within your blog and within your business? Add complementary content like side dishes to pair with holiday dips, or how to create a dip bar for parties to attract diverse searches. Kelly, I think something that you do that you do really well in your content is you will have a blog post and then you will say, what are some side dishes that would complement, this is an example, what are some side dishes that would complement this recipe? And then from there, now you're going to start getting these search terms that are side dish, recipe, whatever specific in your search console. And then you keep building out that ecosystem. So
Oh, I have so many side dishes for Hawaiian sliders, side dishes for Kahlua pork, side dishes for fried chicken because of that.
So essentially, in hindsight, looking back, that you can seed that information, right? That's essentially what you're doing is seeding that so that it will eventually start showing up in Search Console. Now you have more to write about. It'll start showing up in Search Console the way that Google wants you to write about it. All right. What are some other ways to leverage this information?
So following kind of along with what Crystal has said about, these roundup type things is launching a series. So you are creating this whole thing of related posts like ultimate Thanksgiving appetizers, March Madness party foods, and those link back to that original dip recipe post for more engagement. And that original dip recipe post now says, you looking for March Madness? You looking for Thanksgiving appetizers, right? And links to these new roundups that you've created or these collections that you've created. You can also obviously which is what I was just talking about, cross promote within the content, but also outside of the content. So sharing these new posts on your social media or in your newsletters leading up to the key dates to March Madness, Super Bowl, Thanksgiving, whatever, to drive even more interest and more traffic.
Okay, so we love giving you guys pro tips. So here's a pro tip based on what we've just shared. Think long-term and build an evergreen content series for each seasonal peak. You're going to know that by looking at your data, not your friend's data, not what's trending for everybody else.
Not what Kelly said that she did here.
Right, exactly, your data. And what will happen is because you're fostering consistent growth and relevance year after year, this is going to continue to grow out, right? So you're going to start experiencing some of the same example that Kelly and I have been sharing with you. The way to do it is to take that evergreen piece of content and filter it in Search Console and make a list of all the seasonal ideas that are showing up for that information. And you could actually do 16 months in Search Console, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just start tracking all of that information. This allows you to get ahead of the next year's peak so that when you're saying, I wish that there was more content that I could write about this topic, but I just don't know what to write. I've written it all. No, Search Console is going to tell you otherwise.
Right? Like you might go in there and go, wait, what? This thing showed up for couple dinner ideas for Valentine's? Crazy. Okay, so I need to write a post about couple dinner ideas for Valentine's and how we can just have an appetizer night, right? Girl dinner. How fun is that? Mm-hmm. With this dip, right?
Yeah. Risa, we will share it at the end. We're almost there, kind of.
Okay. So number 3, planning content with annual cycles in mind. So taking that pro tip, digging into that, really seeing when the annual cycles of that are. You can see when do the spikes happen? Mm-hmm. When do the peaks happen for this, for example, this Velveeta appetizer dip thing? Many topics naturally align with our yearly cycles, right? They just do. Dips are going to go crazy. Thanksgiving, they're going to go crazy for Super Bowl. They're going to go crazy for March Madness. It just happens, right? Mm-hmm. And when you can start recognizing and anticipating these cycles, that's what empowers you to serve your audience proactively. That's where you're not waiting too late to get some Pinterest juice and some SEO juice and even some Facebook and email juice behind that content, because you already know that Super Bowl is 4 weeks away and your dips are going to go crazy. So you're already pushing those out, right? The role of annual content refreshes. What is that? What does this mean? Both seasonal content and evergreen with peaks content benefit from focused yearly refreshes to ensure that they stay relevant, to ensure that they stay accurate, to ensure that there are no broken links, and that they are engaging when the traffic actually hits. So I want you to think of it like an annual tune-up for your high-performing pieces. So Crystal, can you give us an example of a cyclical content opportunity?
So seasonal storm, a post on spring cleaning tips will see yearly spikes in March or April. Okay, but a refresh early each year can include updated trends like eco-friendly products or downloadable checklists to remark its relevance, or people like to do deep cleaning right after Christmas.
Back to school.
And there are so many times throughout the year. I can think of so many. It's not just spring cleaning, right? We do it in the fall when the kids go back to school. We do it at the end of, my Facebook group for our neighborhood here, the day after Christmas is blown up with free on the curb, come and pick this up, free on the curb. They're getting rid of everything, cleaning everything, purging everything from their house. There are times of the year, aside from just spring cleaning, where this happens, right? Evergreen with a boost. An Evergreen post on fitness, for example, 10 simple workouts for beginners, might draw consistent traffic year round, but surge in January because that's when everybody's wanting to get healthy, right?
And May, when people are trying to get swimsuit ready.
Right. So, exactly. So it's for New Year's resolutions. It's for leading into summer. But also there are other times of the year that people work on when kids go back to school. It's me time now. I'm going to work on myself now, right? I'm going to have time for myself. So
right. The holidays are fixing to be crazy. I need to go ahead and shed about 15 pounds so that I stay the same weight when the holidays are over, right?
Preload it with fresh examples or a related call to action in December for a strong start to the new year, or during back to school, time for mom again, whatever it is. Like, there are ways to do trending content that is typical to a seasonal time of year and make it fit all throughout the year.
Yes.
Different
pro tip.
Times of the year.
Treat your calendar, pro tips. Treat your calendar like your content or your co-strategist, okay? I want you to build time for these updates into your schedule so that staying prepared becomes second nature, so that you're not waiting until the last minute, seeing things all over Facebook, and then thinking that you're going to share yours at that time too. It's too late, right?
Right. That's something you need to be thinking about. Okay, so let's talk about recognizing hybrid content opportunities. Some topics can blend both evergreen and seasonal value right from the start. These hybrid posts offer excellent flexibility and long-term impact. So what does that look like? Here's an example of content versatility. Number one, a hybrid topic: how to host the perfect outdoor party. So you may think that that really means only in the summertime would somebody do this, but actually,
I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't having no outdoor party down here in Alabama in the summertime. It is way too hot.
Right. We don't want to do in July. We're like, after 4th of July until September, it is too hot in Texas to do anything outside, right?
Unless it's at the beach or at a pool, it is way too hot.
Right, exactly. So why it works year round, core principles like seating arrangements or menu ideas apply to any party, whether it's in spring, summer, or fall. This reminds me of my camping stuff. So I have camping desserts, camping dinner recipes, camping breakfast recipes, and just other things that are specific to camping. But how can I, number one, camping is not just going to be in the summertime. And there's only certain parts of the U.S. where camping is happening in the summertime, right?
It's too hot here. I promise, y'all do not want to sleep in a 120-degree sleeping bag with 100% humidity. You don't. I promise you. I don't care who you think you are. You don't.
Well, mentally, while mentally we may think that camping is for summer, actually different parts of the United States, but also different places in the World Wide Web are camping in different times of year. So just think about that, right? And there are a lot of topics that applies to. So but how do we take these either camping ideas or hosting an outside party, for example, how do we take seasonal application and apply it to that? So add segments on cold weather hosting for fall, or update with fresh styling ideas for spring gardens, right? And as you start to see this stuff in the content that's there, you're going to start getting search terms for this stuff that then lead to, okay, I can do a whole blog post on seating arrangements for outdoor parties, seating arrangements for outdoor parties in the spring. Like, you can just keep going and keep going and keep going. Okay.
For outdoor weddings, for outdoor birthday parties, for outdoor graduation parties, for outdoor Christmas parties.
Right. Right. Because just because where you live, you can't have an outdoor party at Christmas doesn't mean that people aren't searching for that based on where they live. Does that make sense?
My kids eat outside every Christmas at my in-laws.
Yeah.
Most of the time we're in shorts.
Right.
Yeah, so here's your key takeaway. Instead of boxing your content into either or categories, so either seasonal or evergreen, I want you to really identify the areas of overlap and start creating those hybrid pieces that automatically cover both bases. Okay, so pro tip: hybrid topics shine when they're segmented effectively, using headings within the content, like for spring parties, winter warming tips, etc. Really lead your audience to the section that they need most. And if you're using jump links, like a table of contents, that's really going to help them even more. What are
Okay,
your
so our final thoughts. Expanding seasonal topics into evergreen discussions and recognizing which evergreens enjoy timely peaks throughout the year help you hit the sweet spots of content or creating content consistently, consistent content creation and traffic and timely relevance. Over time, a strategic approach to these concepts are actually going to turn your blog into a resource that delivers value all year long. And that's what you have to remember, guys. We are blogging. Many of us are blogging to solve problems for people because at the root of what you're doing, that's it. You're solving problems, whether it's cooking, whether it's seating arrangements for a party, whether it's cleaning a house, or whether it's dip recipes for year round. You're solving a problem for people. How do you do that all year long with the content that you create? Okay.
Yeah, at its heart, creating evergreen content is not about writing one post. It's about building an interconnected library that evolves along with your audience's needs and along with their search habits. So stay thoughtful, stay adaptive, and remember, you've got this.
Yes, you do. So, Kelly, let's put that phone number on the screen one more time. You're going to text the word evergreen and only the word evergreen to 251-644-6701. If you do that and you don't get a message back, it's because you have likely D&D'd us, which means
That means you have unsubscribed. In our system, just unsubscribing says do not contact me anymore. And if you say do not contact me anymore, we can't contact you anymore.
Right. So the only way to get this printable is to text the word evergreen. So if you don't get it, then you're going to send another text that says start and only start. Nothing else. Don't explain anything. Don't tell us why, because they'll mess it all up. So
and I don't have an automation on that right now. So just doing start, you might think that you haven't done anything. You have.
Then after you do the word start and start alone, then you're going to do the word evergreen by itself. And then it'll send it to you. And just don't D&D us again. Or else you're going to have to go through this all the time. I mean, seriously, we're paying for you to get this in a text. So it's free to you. It's not free to us. Just suck it up. Okay. Liberty says, can you give an example about holiday content being evergreen? Like, how do I make a Christmas wreath evergreen or an Easter kitchen decor? It's about the wreaths being evergreen.
Right.
Okay.
Not Christmas, but the wreaths themselves.
Right.
So 25 all year round wreaths for your front door. And one of those will be a Christmas wreath.
Right. Exactly. So it's kind of like when you're breaking down a sentence, when you're teaching kids to break down a sentence, where's the noun? Where's the adjective? What is the noun in this? The noun is wreaths. The noun is dips. The noun is like, what is it? What is the main thing? Take away the seasonal element of it. What is the main thing that we're doing? Cleaning is an action, but for spring cleaning, it's cleaning, right? So what all the times of year that you're cleaning. What is the root term or the base term? And how do you take that, even though mentally you've associated it with seasonal activities, how do you make it evergreen? Okay.
All right, ladies, you'll have a great one.
Yep.
Be sure to
go ahead.
Sign up for notifications because we also have a video that goes out every Thursday. So ring that little bell, do all the things, subscribe, whatever.
Go binge watch us. Okay. We're working on some great playlists for you guys that solve your problems. All right. Yours isn't coming through, Emily. We'll look into it. All right, guys, you'll have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on Thursday. It won't be live, but do go watch our new video on Thursday. And then otherwise, we'll see you back here live next Tuesday. All right. You'll have a great rest of your day. See you later. Bye.